Squeeze Reactions, man. We back again. I'm back again. Because the gang ain't with me. The La Familia not with me. Alright, so this is a request. Heavy request. It's been in the comments a lot. I've been seeing it in the comments. But y'all know I'm only doing the request when y'all hit me through the DM. So yeah. Y'all gotta follow me and send that to me. Yeah. We gotta get to know each other before y'all get this. Nah, I'm playing. We ain't gotta get to know each other. I'm just playing. But yeah, send it through the DM. Follow me on the gram at $sauce. I'm gonna jump into this one right here though. Let's jump straight into this.
They have declared
Canada is super lit. I love Canada. I wish I could come out there. I don't know how that worked with my felonies. I got 2 of them. So, I don't know. But I love y'all out there, man, because y'all provided me with the heat.
warfare on our streets. It's something we have never in the city of Vancouver ever had to deal with before.
There were the Assange brothers, Ron and Jim, who would later have a falling out with Bindy Johal. Not only was this organized crime, but it was orchestrated. It was a public showing off, if you will, one that's not been seen since.
And when there were finally charges, no one could have written the twist that happened during the court case.
Hey guys, in today's video we're going to talk about the notorious gangster from Vancouver, BC, named Bindy Johal, aka Bindy Johal. He's known by many to be the first celebrity gangster in the Metro Vancouver area. Ever since I made my video on Driftwood's ties with the Brothers Keepers gang based in Vancouver, BC, I've gotten many requests on doing more videos on places in BC, as well as specifically Bindy Johal. And after looking into who
Bindy Johal
was and finding out just how insane his story was, I thought it was worthwhile to make a video. This is my first video that doesn't directly have anything to do with Toronto, so let me know in the comments if you would like to see more videos about Canada in general in the future. As I mentioned before, Bindy Johal was a well-known gangster, not only to police but also to many people in the area, because of how infamous of a character he was. When most people are under investigation and are receiving lots of attention from the feds, they understandably normally try to lay low for a while. Well, Bindy seemed to enjoy the fame that came along with it, with him regularly going to clubs knowing that the police were following him everywhere he went. He became a famous figure through his public views from the media and interviews with news networks, as well as how he was the leader of a gang involved with a huge gang war and was essentially the face of the Indian gang problems in Vancouver at the time, with him reportedly making $70,000 to $90,000 a week at the height of his career. But even with him obviously being a criminal, many people see him as a hero, and I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Let's get into it. Bindy was born in the state of Punjab in India and immigrated to Canada with his family when he was 4 years old in 1975. When he started secondary school in grade 8, he appeared not to have any problems, but as the years went by, he found himself earning a reputation for himself in the East Vancouver and in his school, Sir Charles Tupper Secondary School. This reputation was gained by his acts of violence.
Shit boring so far, y'all. We about to skip this early life shit. I ain't gonna lie, cause that shit type boring. Or is it important that I watch it? I think it's important. Let me just...
Lack of respect for authority. In grade 12, he got expelled from his school for assaulting his vice principal, resulting in him being sentenced to 60 days in jail.
See, good thing I ain't skip it. Little nigga beat up the vice principal. I beat up a security guard. But I wasn't in middle school. I thought I was in high school. I did that dumb shit.
His vice principal was lecturing him about his attitude, which turned into him questioning Bindy about his alleged gang activity, to which Bindy responded with kicking him in the groin. The kick was actually so hard that his vice principal was rushed to the emergency room. His gang connection that his vice principal was referring to started with one of his first and most significant crime associates he met in that same school. His name was Dean. Dean was a member of the Los Diablos street gang at that time. Los Diablos was a mid-level criminal organization that sold drugs and completed the violent, contracted work that larger groups like the Lotus Gang tried to avoid getting involved with. In the 1960s, Los Diablos was mostly made up of people who spoke Spanish, but the gang became more multi-ethnic over time. It got to the point that when Bindy joined the gang in the late 80s, its members were almost exclusively of South Asian descent. Leadership of Los Diablos was held by Ron and Jimmy Desange. Ron was said to be the brains of the organization.
Nah, not the Akis. That look like the niggas that said I'll call the stores.
With a muscle. They bought narcotics in bulk and used their network of dealers to distribute the cocaine to customers across the city. Bindy was one of the dealers. When Bindy was asked in court about his relationship with Jimmy Desange, he said, quote unquote, I was a small-time drug dealer, he was a big-time guy. Wherever we went, we got respect because everyone was afraid of him. He was a big shot, and when I was beside him, I was a big shot.
He said that in the courtroom? Come on now, y'all. Hope he ain't said that in court. That's what I think I heard them say. Run it back, DJ.
With Jimmy Dessange, he said, quote-unquote, I was a small-time drug dealer, he was a big-time guy. Wherever we went, we got respect because everyone was afraid of him. We distribute the cocaine to customers across the city. Bindy was one of the dealers. When Bindy was asked in court about his relationship with Jimmy Dessange, he said, quote-unquote,
that's some snitch shit. Nigga said when he was asked in court.
I was a small-time drug dealer, he was a big-time guy. Wherever we went, we got respect because everyone was afraid of him. He was a big shot, and when I was beside him, I was a big shot. However, everything started to change when Jimmy Dessange was arrested with the murder of a Colombian cocaine trafficker. When Dessange was awaiting his trial, Bindy and Faisal decided to start working on their own and created their own gang. They began buying cocaine in bulk and selling it on the streets in direct competition with Ron Dessange and the Los Diablos. It was a really bold move, but Bindy knew that Ron was vulnerable at the time due to his brother being locked up. The plan actually ended up working so well that some of the Los Diablos members left to join Bindy and Faisal's gang. There was a slight peace between the rivalry for a short period of time, and until some dramatic events would take place and bring Bindy to the public eye. It all started when Bindy's associate Faisal was arrested for the murder of a man named Parminder Chana. On the night of October 12th, Faisal called Parminder to set up a meeting, telling him that police had uncovered a credit card scam that they were operating. Parminder was on his way to work a night shift at a salvage yard, so he told Faisal to meet him there. When Faisal arrived alongside a man named Rajinder Banji, Parminder knew that the meeting wouldn't be about credit cards. It turns out that Parminder was dating Rajinder's 17-year-old sister, and he wasn't very happy about that.
Wow.
According to a court testimony, Faisal held Parminder down while Rajinder stabbed him 53 times. Over things get...
That's insane. 53 times, nigga held him while he stabbed him 53 times, gang. 53. That's crazy. I got a story time for y'all, but I don't know if I should.
More extreme is that 2 days later, Rajinder's sister committed suicide by jumping off of a bridge.
Wow.
She left behind a note saying that when Parminder died, I died. And then
Wow, nigga, little sister killed herself. You basically killed your sister. You killed her happiness. She went and committed suicide. That's crazy.
Imagine this was heavily reported on by the local news, causing everyone in the community to become aware of it. Now, where does Bindy come into this? Well, there was actually 3 witnesses to the murder. Obviously, the 2 co-accused, Faisal and Rajinder, as well as another man named Sanjay Narain. Apparently, Sanjay was known to brag to women about his criminal activities and to freebase cocaine. Due to this, Bindy decided to silence him. Police heard many variations of how it went down, but they all went down something like this. On a December night in 1991, 2 cars pulled up to a row and played.
December night, 1991. That's the year and the month a legend was born. Squeeze.
Top of Cleveland Dam in North Vancouver. Young men in their early 20s got out and walked along the top of the dam on the Capilano River. They were expecting a drug deal to go down, but in the distance a shadowy figure appeared. He wore a long trench coat. As he approached, he drew a gun, pointing it at the head of one man in the group. Although police have heard various versions of what happened that night, investigators believe the man in the trench coat was the notorious Vancouver gangster Bindy Johal. Sanjay's body was later found in a river under the dam he'd been thrown off of. Of course, Bindy was a prime suspect for this, and was obviously starting to get a lot of attention from the media and people in the community after they heard the tales of a Romeo and Juliet type story, along with the story of a mysterious man in a trench coat who threw a body off of a dam 300 feet in the air into a river. At this point, Bindy was gaining fame in the area since he was a notorious gangster that was a regular at many nightclubs, even with police following him everywhere he went. But that was only the beginning of the story, because at around the same time, Jimmy Dessange was released from prison. Witnesses at the preliminary hearing for his alleged murder refused to testify against him in court.
You know motherfuckers ain't coming to testify against no kingpin. One of the big dogs. Niggas ain't coming to court. Or you know, come on, man. Think about it.
Lack of evidence, his charges were dropped and he was once again a free man. When he got out and heard about the news of one of his former lieutenants starting a gang that was a direct rival to his own, he obviously wasn't very happy, so he hired a hitman to take out Bindy.
Wow.
To this day, nobody really knows how Bindy found out about the hit on him, but he ended up paying the hitman twice what he was going to get paid to kill him to take out Jimmy DeSange instead, which he ended up doing. From this point, the community...
That's when you know a nigga got that bag, nigga. You put a bag on his head, nigga, I say double it. Double that bitch. Now look at him. Dead as fuck. Dead as fuck.
was convinced that Bindy was responsible for this murder, which was actually such a popular belief that he was invited to appear on the news to talk about what this killing meant for the future of the gang war in East Vancouver. During the interview, he said,
I guess Jimmy DeSange, they portrayed him as a hitman, this, that. I mean, I guess he was a very serious person. From what I've seen of him on the street, I personally think he couldn't have hit his way out of a paper bag.
Next, they went to Ron DeSange's home to get his opinions on the situation to try and uncover the truth. Ron DeSange had his share of disrespect to say about Bindy, saying,
Bro, nah, the news was messy out there, son. I got an interview with the killers, the gangsters.
I'm talking about nobody. If anybody's a nobody, buddy, maybe that's why your life is worth a loony on the streets today. I wouldn't shoot you in the back, but I'll do it right face to face, square in the forehead.
so obviously
the
the fact
news?
was trash talking on the news was making a public situation even more public. But it doesn't stop there. After this, there were drive-by shootings, nightclub shootings, and shootings in the street. And 2 weeks from the time of the interviews, Ron DeSange...
It went up. It went up. It went up, nigga. Nigga, this the original. This how the... What? This is in the 90s, too. They was drilling. This is like Twitter beef. But this is back in the day, so there was no Twitter, so niggas was on the news with it. You know how niggas be snitching on Instagram? Nah, they was snitching on each other on the news, nigga. I'll shoot you in the face, nigga. I won't shoot you in the back.
was shot dead in the drive-by shooting. He was reported to be waiting for a traffic light to change when a shooter came beside his truck and started firing at him with an AR.
Yo, when there's smoke, no red lights. Take the ticket. When you beefing like that, y'all niggas news up. You can't be sitting at no red light. Nigga can't wait to catch you at the red.
Assault rifle in broad daylight. This public execution cemented Bindy's reputation as Vancouver's first celebrity gangster. The violence kept escalating from there though, because after the murder of Ron DeSange, Bindy decided to go into hiding, and hired his neighbor to watch the dog for a couple weeks while he was gone. And tragically, while the dog sitter was taking the dog for a walk in the park, a hit squad started firing at him with an AK-47, resulting in him being killed. News reporters were able to find Bindy and asked him if they thought that his life was in danger. To this, he replied with his most famous line,
Just want these guys to know you got another thing coming, bitch. I'm still around.
What? Nah, they was wildin'. Them niggas was on the news with it. I want you guys to know you got another thing coming, bitch. I'm still around. Or Fulham Grave. Both bodies about to drop.
He wasn't around long.
Now at this point, the city obviously had some major issues to figure out, since dog walkers were being murdered and gang leaders were beefing on the news. This is when the mayor organized a 150-man police unit to investigate the killings, spending over $1 million to solve these crimes and take down Bindy. Eventually, the police arrested Bindy and 4 others, and charged them with the murder of the DeSange brothers. 3 of the accused were released on a $100,000 bond, but they deemed Bindy and 1 other co-defendant too dangerous to release. The case ended up being one of the longest and most expensive in Canadian history because of all the security that was needed. Crown prosecutors spent 5 months laying out their case, which included over 100 witnesses and mountains of wiretap evidence. However, even with
They ain't need no damn wiretaps. Nigga, y'all niggas on the news with it. What they need a wiretap for?
all this effort, the case would eventually be thrown out, likely for something completely unrelated to the case itself. One of
What?
Bindy's co-accused was a man named Peter Gill. Peter had excellent grooming and a fancy suit that resulted in him catching the attention of a woman named Jillian Guess in the jury box. Apparently, she was attracted to him and wasn't trying to hide it either, with her always flipping her hair and looking over at him while smiling flirtatiously. As I said earlier, 3 of the accused were released on bail, and Peter was one of them. So 3 months into the trial, Jillian and Peter met outside of the courtroom. During their date together, Peter explained to her that he was a victim of racism and that he was completely innocent.
Wow, the nigga bagged one of the jurors. That's so gangster. Listen, bitch, you gotta get all my niggas free. Cause you know when it's a trial, all of them gotta say they guilty. If one motherfucker say they ain't guilty and they not jacking, they gotta keep deliberating. You got one of them on your side, on your clutch. Ooh-wee. God bless you. Oh, for them grave.
Ended up leaving him, and that resulted in them having sexual relations that night. That was the first time in Canadian history that a juror had a sexual relationship with an accused murderer while the trial was still in court. Jillian and her fellow jurors decided on a verdict on not guilty on both of the murders. However,
they had to. Nigga was spanking boots. Nigga probably deaded her right after the trial. Bitch, it's over. I ain't want you, bitch. Niggas ain't shit, yo. I'm telling you.
months later, Jillian and Pete were seen dancing together at a nightclub.
Wow.
So police started following them around. And not too long after, it became clear that...
Wow, they probably had... Yo. Oh, you was supposed to dub? That's why I said that. That's why I said double right after. Nigga didn't double. Now y'all out partying and clubbing. Ooh wee. They about to bring them cases right back up. We need a whole new trial.
They were both arrested and charged with obstruction to justice. But luckily for Bindy, the court had no grounds to retry him for the murders, and he was a free man for the first time in 2 years.
That's fire.
3 months after his release, there was a stabbing at a strip club, 3 drive-by shootings, and 2 nightclub shootings that were all tied to him. There were even rumors mentioning that he would go to nightclubs and shoot his firearm at the ceiling, the only purpose being intimidation and sending a message to the rivals that the boss is back in charge. However, this was a public display of dominance that wouldn't last long, because things started going downhill for him after that. In early 1996, one of Bindy's associates spotted 2 kilograms of cocaine off of a teenager named Randy Chan. It turns out that the 2 kilograms were diluted, and Bindy wasn't happy with this at all. So he stuffed Randy in his trunk and drove away. This was very dangerous.
He put the little nigga in the trunk. Nigga said, nah, man, it's too much baking soda in this. Threw him in the trunk.
Randy was the younger brother of a high-ranking member in the Lotus King. The next 56 hours were spent by Bindy negotiating the terms of Randy's release. Police learned about the kidnapping and sent 70 officers to look for the missing teenager. Eventually, Randy was released in exchange for 5 kilograms of cocaine. However, Bindy ended up getting arrested and charged for unlawful confinement. He told TV cameras, quote-unquote, "I'll beat this one for sure," as he was loading into a van for a court appearance.
Get the cameras out of my face, or I might have to remove them.
While Bindy was awaiting his trial, he was locked up in a cell with a man named Bull. Eventually, they became friends and started to trust each other. And this is when Bindy started recruiting him.
That's the worst thing to do is trust a nigga. Especially in jail. You may meet some cool ass niggas in jail, but don't tell them niggas about what you had going on, man. But look, like they started a gang, so he might be lit. He might be a loyal one, but shit. 9 times out of 10, you go to jail and don't talk to nobody. Do your time and get the fuck out. Cause a nigga will tell them what you told them and try to get out early.
To become a member of this group named the Elites. We're basically a crew of people whose job was to assassinate Bindy's enemies. Eventually, Bindy was released on bail, and that's when the Elite got to work. Ball estimates that in the next few years, the Elite were responsible for roughly 25 to 30 murders.
Damn.
The murders began as strategic moves to help the gang prosper, but eventually it got to the point where they were handling Bindy's personal beefs. And everything changed in the summer of...
Yo, that nigga's the big homie of whatever organization he in. He's finessing his way into being the leader. Cause he made them niggas smoke all his ops, basically. That nigga was wildin'. I like him.
1998, when Ball and some associates were out at a nightclub. A young associate named Derek called Bindy and asked him to join them. Bindy said he was too tired, and Derek replied by calling him a baby. At the end of the night, Ball and the rest of the guys at the nightclub got into a truck and drove home. When they got home, they saw Bindy waiting for them. After he saw Derek in the back seat, he got in and told Ball he wanted to go for a drive. Ball, Derek, and Bindy ended up going to a secluded area when Bindy told Ball to stop the car because he wanted to get out and take a piss. As he left the car, he dragged Derek out with him. He then shot and killed him and told Ball to help him dump him in the river. Ball never trusted Bindy again after that night because he figured that if Derek could get killed over an insult, then nobody was safe, including...
Wow, my son smoked him because he said he's a baby? What? Nah, he's a demon. Nigga killed him because he insulted him, because he didn't want to party. Bruh. Come on, that shit back right here.
He ended up going to a secluded area when Bindy told Ball to stop the car because he wanted to get out. When they got home, they saw Bindy waiting for them. After he saw Derek in the back seat, he got in and told
Oh no.
Bindy said he was too tired, and Derek replied by calling him a baby. At the end of the night, Ball and the rest of the guys at the nightclub got into a truck and drove home. When they got home, they saw Bindy waiting for them. After he saw Derek in the back seat, he got in and told Ball he wanted to go for a drive. Ball, Derek, and Bindy ended up going to a secluded area when Bindy told Ball to stop the car because he wanted to get out and take a piss. As he left the car, he dragged Derek out with him. He then shot and killed him and told Ball to help him dump him in the river. Ball never trusted Bindy again after that night because he figured that if Derek could get killed over an insult, then nobody was safe, including him. But things only keep on getting crazier. In early December, Ball's suspicions of Bindy became true. Ball and Bindy were driving to a nightclub when Bindy made an illegal turn and got pulled over by the police. And that's when Bindy pulled out a gun and told Ball to tell the police that it was his, resulting in him breaching his probation and receiving 8 or...
What? Oh, nah. Nah, nigga said, yo, that's just rap, nigga. Yo, what? Nah.
months in prison. But the unusual part about all of this was that Ball knew that Bindy was always careful with carrying a gun, and would only have one on him if he planned on using it. That's when you realize that Bindy might have planned on murdering him that night. Ball ended up pleading guilty and taking the time, not because he wanted to take the fall for Bindy, but because of the perfect alibi he would receive. Ball said, quote-unquote, when Bindy was getting reckless, I took over the elite. I told them to get him. I gave them $20,000 and they got Bindy in a nightclub. At 1:30 a.m. on December 20th, 1998, Bindy was shot in the back of the head at close range inside of a nightclub in downtown Vancouver. Over 300 witnesses were there when the murder happened, but nobody came forward to identify the shooter. And to this day, the shooter was never arrested.
Wow.
Bindy Johal clearly had a violent story and was involved in lots of criminal behavior. But at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that Bindy is seen as a hero to many people, and I'll talk about why now. Doing my research on Bindy, I saw a common trend from a large part of the community who knows about him. You see, back in the 80s, racism was a very major thing in Canada, so many people would essentially bully Indian people. Lots of Indians were immigrating to Canada at that time and would get insulted and assaulted for no reason. Much of the Indian community who was around and facing racism at that time agrees that Bindy is obviously no saint and was still a criminal and a drug dealer who caused lots of violence. But lots argued that when he became known in the city and the face of an Indian person was on the news terrorizing the city, things changed, and for racism towards Indian people's case, for the better. Since now brown people weren't just a defenseless target. Bindy showed that any race, including Indians, can be dangerous and that you can't do whatever you want to them. Apparently Bindy even dealt with people who were racist even if they were in his own ranks. But on the other end of the spectrum, there's lots of people who understandably only see him as a criminal. Let me know what you thought about this down in the comments.
Fire. This was fire. The beginning was slow. Y'all almost lost me. I almost turned this shit off. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I almost turned it off and would have been like, I ain't gonna respond to nobody that even asked for this. But this was fire. Boy was a demon. I ain't gonna lie. Boy was a demon. You know, we ain't glorifying none of this. But we just scared to put up on, you feel me? Like, comment, subscribe, man. Send them DMs for more fucking requests. It's brick down here. I'm out here with the shirt on. Wow. Where that Squeeze hoodie at, man? Squeeze Game merch coming soon. La Familia. You know what time it is, man. Squeeze. $$ Sauce. DM me.